NBC's Ayman Mohyeddin joins us live. And Ayman, U.S. and other foreign officials have been urging the government to resolve the standoff with supporters of ousted President Mohamed Morsi. Obviously, they decided not to wait any longer.
Well, that's correct, Chris. In fact, you could probably see this road behind me. This is one of Cairo's major highways here. And in fact, it's supposed to be busy right now this time of day as people go home from work. What you could see behind me is it's actually rather empty because a few minutes ago, a state of emergency was declared across the country, according to the Egyptian presidency. And what that means is that it will give police and the government here the authority to carry out all kinds of emergency laws. More importantly, how that is going to be interpreted in the coming days and hours with those that are being arrested, and particularly with those that are in many of these protest locations, is going to be extremely alarming for human rights activists. Now, what we do know from earlier today, the Egyptian police moved in at about 7:30 a.m. local time. They cleared these two major sitting areas that were supporting the former President Mohamed Morsi, and that led to the type of violence we are seeing unfold. Now, the concern among security officials and many across the country is that the violence that we are seeing, or what was expected to happen as a result of this, is now somewhat splintering beyond the capital and into other provinces and cities across the country. So far, the death toll officially stands at 95 people killed, more than 800 wounded. But concerning the Muslim Brotherhood and their supporters, they actually say the death toll is expected to reach as many as 300 people in the coming hours. Many of the bodies of those killed remain in field hospitals and morgues, and that have not been officially transported to the Ministry of Health facilities where they are being documented. So it is a very volatile situation that is unfolding, and one that has now been exacerbated by this emergency law that has been declared by the government. And more importantly, in its statement, the presidency says it has also authorized the country's armed forces to augment the police in imposing law and order. So what role the army is going to play now in the arrest of citizens, in containing the security situation that is unfolding, all of those are going to be very important questions in the coming hours. Chris?
What would you expect to see based on what we've known in the past and based on the statement that you got? What would you expect to see in the coming hours?
Well, the major concern is going to be with those that are already in the custody of the military, and more importantly, how they deal with civil unrest. Could they impose a curfew? That hasn't been declared yet, but that will certainly be a prerogative of the military and the police, which would certainly limit the type of movement between states and cities here in Egypt. More importantly, the citizens that are arrested, will they be tried in military courts or state security courts? Right now, since the end of the revolution back in 2011, one of the nominal gains has been the end of emergency law, but the fact that it is now reinstated is going to be a cause of concern for many political organizations, certainly about concerns about freedom of expression, and more importantly, human rights organization. But perhaps the most underlying question is going to be what the government intends to do with the Muslim Brotherhood as an organization. They have been one of the major supporters of the anti-coup alliance, which is the umbrella organization that is opposed to what they call the coup against President Mohamed Morsi, and as a result of that, they are perhaps going to be disbanded. There has been some speculation that the military and the current interim government will move ahead and disband the Muslim Brotherhood in a move that was actually reversed back in 2011. So there's growing concern as to what type of maneuvers the interim government, backed by the military and the police, will do against political parties, the arrest of civilians, and to try and restore law and order here. Chris?
Ayman Mohyeddin in Cairo, Egypt, live for us. Thank you so much.